So hey everybody, this is John from Beantown Bootcamp. Just going to give you a little tutorial about how our 21-day challenge program works. And if you actually use the website, most of the information that you need is all over the site, but I'm just going to go through the site, kind of describe to you how it's going to work best for you. So your best bet is to go to the resources tab up here and click on that, and I don't know why it's taking a little while. There we go. Alright, so this tracking sheet is something, we'll have copies of it here, but you can print them out as well at home, and this is kind of the Bible that explains a little bit of everything of how you're going to track your points. You should print this out and keep one with you weekly, and this is basically how to keep track of your points. So it does start on September 12th, Monday. As far as training goes and the program itself, you have unlimited class options to come to any of our classes that we offer each week. We offer about 40 classes per week, and you can come to any of them. The point system works based on you at least coming to 3 classes per week, and that's the maximum you would get, would be 6 points in the training section. So if you come to 5 or 6 classes a week, that's great. We suggest you try to come to maybe 4 or 5 per week, utilizing a combination of any of our strength class options, and mixing in some of our cardio options, which would be our tread to shred class, or our cardio cross training class, or our outdoor boot camp class. Everything else on the schedule is basically a strength class kind of option. And so we like people or members to come to maybe 2 strength class options if they can, and then 2 or 3 cardio class options to kind of get a good balance of everything each week. You don't have to track the actual class you come to. When you come to a class, you're just going to check it off and give yourself 2 points. And like I said, the maximum score you can get there is 6 points per week. So you don't get extra for coming to more classes, but the goal would be to just get the three classes. And I'll explain more about how registration for particular classes work and stuff like that after. It's very simple here. For the majority of them, you just show up for. So we'll get into that after. The nutrition end of it, the way you score points here is to eat 3 balanced meals a day. If we go back to the resources, one second, and you go to this balanced meal formula sheet. This is another sheet you should probably print out and keep with you. It keeps it pretty simple. Doesn't give you a lot of choices to consist of a balanced meal, which I kind of like that it limits it. So basically, let's say it was breakfast, right? And I had a few eggs. I threw in some spinach with that, and then I had maybe a quarter cup or so of pecans, and I drank a good amount of water. That would consist of a balanced meal for the day, and I would give myself, I believe we give you a point per day, basically, if you are able to do that. So, sorry, I went off the wrong chart. But you have to do that 3 times a day in order to get the point for that day. All the stuff down here, you can have it. It's not to say that you can't have it. You're not going to lose points for eating stuff that's on this does not count sheet. It's just a matter of we feel that if you go for the better choices 3 times a day, balancing those meals out in the section above, you're much less likely to go after some of this other stuff. And so, like, the detox portion of it, we're not telling you to eliminate dairy. We're not telling you to eliminate eating fruit and stuff like that. It's just a matter of you don't get points for those kinds of choices, and they're not going to hurt you as well. These are the better choices of lean proteins. These are some of the better choices of good carbohydrates to go after. And again, our feeling is if you do that 3 times a day, you're much less likely to go after the stuff you probably should be trying to avoid. And that gets into the detox portion of it. So let's go back to the original resource page. And if we go to this detox section, now this is how you will lose points. So if you stay away from all the stuff that's on this sheet, each day you give yourself a point. And so if you had anything on this sheet in a particular day, then you don't give yourself the point. So the goal at the end of the week would be, to try to be as good as possible. It's not, again, to say if you had a bad day, you're just not going to give yourself points for that particular day. Yeah, perfect score. To get the perfect score at the end of the week, you have to try to stay away from anything that's on this sheet. So again, if you have fruit and stuff like that, guys, the sugar and fruit we're not so concerned about. It's more, added sugar or products that contain a lot of sugar, or products that contain hydrogenated oil, and that's all this stuff in this sheet here. We want to stay away from all of that stuff, and then we definitely want to stay away from alcohol as well. So basically, guys, again, it's pretty simple. You have anything that's related or on this sheet, you can't give yourself a point for that day. And that would be the third way you gain points per week. Let's go back to this resource page. The other documents on here are just helpful stuff. So there's a weekly meal planner. That's just basically if you want to actually record and track what you eat. It's not a bad idea. It's a real simple sheet. It just has the 3 meal options per day, and you just kind of record what's on there. This shopping list is kind of the same thing. It just gives you some of those better choices and just an organized way when you do go shopping to check that out. And the kitchen essentials is all cooking types of essentials that you might need in the kitchen, and for prepping meals and stuff like that. This is a beneficial sheet to shoot for. On this as well, there's some different websites that have some better types of recipes that you could kind of search and check out, and you can probably stick to what's on that list for balanced meals and find some recipes on here that will work for you. And then just some mindfulness resources as far as ways to calm down and meditate, different things like that. There is another section on that tracking sheet where you're going to give yourself points per day for doing stress relief kind of activities per day. So let's go back to that tracking sheet one more time. The tracking sheet is something you need to keep with you each week. Hold on a second. Yeah, so again, we got into that detox stuff. Let's go back to the start. Training each week. Again, come to at least 3 sessions here at Beantown Bootcamp, and you're going to give yourself 2 points for each of those for a maximum score of 6. You eat those 3 balanced meals a day on the sheet, and you give yourself a point per day. So, if you only had 2 balanced meals on one particular day, you don't give yourself a point for that day. So you're not going to have a perfect score at the end of the week. And like we talked about with the detox stuff as well, when you avoid all of those things on that sheet, you would give yourself a point per day. But if you had, one thing that had added sugar on it, you're not really supposed to give yourself that point. This is all an honor system, guys. So, people that do submit perfect scores, if you cheat a little bit, again, the goal is not to, to cheat or end up at the end of the week with a perfect score. The goal is to be honest with yourself, and if you're doing better than you're currently doing, then it's a win. Again, we're not striving for perfection with this. We just want you to take some steps in the right direction to create some real healthy habits that are sustainable. I think that's the big word, is can you do this not for just 21 days. 21 days again is great. It's going to be a great kickstart, but it's more of a lifestyle. And if you can do all of these kind of healthy habits on a regular basis and it's sustainable, then that's what's important. It's the sustainability that's going to get you long-term results, and consistency is what's most important over the long term. Again, lifestyle habits. This is another way you can gain a point per day. So, can you meditate 5 minutes a day, read for 20 minutes, walk for 20 minutes, turn all your screens off by 9 p.m. I know that's going to be a tough one for a lot of folks. Keep a daily gratitude journal. All of these things you can give yourself a point per day for doing, I think is very, very important. Especially turning the screens off by 9 p.m. Sleep is a major, important aspect of health, and I think folks who keep their computers or phones and screens on and TVs, all of it, like if you have it on till late at night, it's just difficult to get the proper amount of sleep. So something to keep in check. And all right, so let's see. So again, 6 points here, 7 points here, 7 and 7. That brings you to 27 total points. The Facebook bonus is something we're going to offer every week. We're going to post the first one this Monday. It's going to be pretty simple stuff. Nothing that's going to require you to do a ton of work. But it's just basically we're going to post a question or a task for you to do, and then you just respond on the Facebook page in the comments or with the post, and you'll gain the 3 points for that. So that is essential, again, for getting the perfect 30 points at the end of the week. So basically, you keep this track with you. You check off each day that you've done each activity. At the end of the week, you total up all the points, and by Monday, so basically each week will run Monday through Sunday, and so on Monday morning before 12 p.m. there's a deadline for this. You have to go to the website and you have to load your points in. I'm going to show you how to do that. So up in the right hand corner here, there is Submit Score, and you'll click on that, and here you go. So weekly score submission form, you just put your name, first and last name. This is week 1, will be the first one after we complete it, and you list each point, the amount of points you got. It's actually a drop down, so you can check them off, which is easy. And you fill it in, and then it calculates it automatically. Any comments or questions you have, you can put in there, and then you just click submit, and you're in there for the week. So there is going to be a leaderboard here section for folks that are I think it maybe lists the top 10 amount of points, or the people who are in the lead for points. We are going to post some details about like prizes and stuff like that we're going to give away throughout the contest and at the end of the contest. And so again, for folks who are new to Beantown Bootcamp, as far as registration for classes go, we are going to create an account for you in our mind-body system, and you don't have to pre-register for any classes on our schedule except for one. There's a class called Tread to Shred, and that's the only class that you would actually have to pre-reserve space in. So you would do that right through our website. We also have an app. If you search Beantown Bootcamp in the Google Play Store or on the Apple iStore, will come up. But I will show you our page here. So again, you have unlimited access to all of our classes. We suggest coming to at least maybe 4 classes per week. Again, the contest is only requiring you to try to shoot for 3, but we love our members to try to shoot for maybe at least 4. So do the best you can with that, but at least try to shoot for 3 classes per week, any 3. And actually, if you go right to our home page, it's going to list all of our classes right here. So this is the only one, Tread to Shred, that you would click on it, and you would have to, sorry, clicked on the wrong link. That just gives you a description of what the classes are, which is important as well. Sometimes you might want to look at that. So like for tomorrow's Tread to Shred class, you would hit sign up, and then it's going to bring you to this page. It will have you, yeah, so here you go. So if you're an existing client, which some of you probably will, if you're new, you would actually click on create an account. When you do that, it's going to ask you to punch in your name and some information. So yeah, you would actually have to fill that stuff out first on your first time, and then we will actually probably give you a promo code to use for that Tread to Shred class. That will just waive the $25 fee, because sometimes it will ask you to do that for that particular class, and if you just punch in the promo code, you'll be all set. This will be the only time you actually have to fill out. First time is the only time you're going to have to fill out this information, but after that you'll be all set. And again, if you have any problems with registration, we can definitely point you in the right direction. Like I said, all our other classes, anything else besides Tread to Shred, you don't have to pre-register for. You just show up. We check you in when you come in. The way our memberships work, because we cap our total number of members, we never have a class that gets overloaded. So it's usually, you know, the most people you'd have in a class here would be maybe 20, but the majority of classes are somewhere between, we would say, maybe 10 and 15 people. And there's other classes you might come to where there's only, like, you know, 4 or 5 people in a particular class. So but check out our schedule. If you have any questions about the classes themselves, please just email me. And again, that's pretty much it in a nutshell, guys. We're very excited about the program, and so for those folks who are not current members, we look forward to welcoming you into the Beantown community and family, and we look forward to meeting you on Monday, and we'll send you all this information out. And again, if you have any questions, you can just email me, john@beantownbootcamp.com. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and we hope to see you soon.